Oh, thank you for joining us. Now, let's proceed in the program. The Intra-African Trade Fair 2025 has wrapped up in Algeria, after a week of exhibitions, forums, and high-level engagement showcasing Africa's trade and investment potential, organized by the African Union, Afrexim Bank, and of course the EFCFTA Secretariat. The fair drew heads of state, business leaders, investors, and innovators from across the continent. Billions of dollars in trade and investment deals were announced, with a strong focus on youth, women, SMEs, and creative industries. Analysts say IATF 2025 reinforced the continent's commitment to regional integration under the EFCFTA, while providing a platform to address Africa's infrastructure gaps, financing needs, and industrialization drive. Well, joining us to discuss this is development economist Professor Ken Ife, who is live here with me in the studio. Thank you for joining us,
Thank
Prof.
you for having me.
We appreciate your time. But let's start this way. Of course, you've been following development
Absolutely.
at the this year's trade fair, and of course, one thing came to mind: the fact that there are quite a lot of conversations around industrialization. But for you, what were the most significant takeaways from this edition in terms of trade, investment opportunities, and regional integration?
Great ones. I mean, you can't take anything away from that. It keeps building up. And this year, I'm sure when they come to Nigeria, will be a much bigger story. The major highlight is from $44 billion trade, it might actually end up in the day to $48 billion, but it still shows a steep rise. Then to accommodate 35,000 participants is huge.
That is huge.
Yeah, and then over 2,000 exhibitors. Now that shows Nigeria has to wake up, because we need to be looking at improving on these numbers. And the fact that 75 countries actually took part, where we have 54 African countries, means that it is popular with foreign neighbors. So people are actually now seeing Africa for what it is. It's not only a land of opportunity, but our case is how do we actually create the trajectories that harness these opportunities, not just, saying it over and over again.
Exactly. I'm glad you mentioned that Nigeria needs to wake up at looking at
a big wake up call
the numbers, of participants, of course, trade participation at this year's conference. But again, yes, of course, we talk about the fact that Nigeria has been given the hosting approval for 2027, which is huge. So it means that we should be expecting 35,000, maybe above more, in 2027, and of course more than 2,000, businesses. But how prepared really is Nigeria at this point to successfully, deliver an event of this magnitude?
Well, we have bits and pieces in different locations, because Lagos is targeted. We know we have
I look at the population of Lagos at the moment.
I know. Yeah. Now, Lagos is, in fact, by 2050, Lagos will be 65 million people. Now, we've seen what happened in Christmas. During the Christmas accommodations, we are just not there enough to contain those coming for Christmas, let alone when we have this kind of number coming in. There are things on the ground. We know the bankers committee, the bankers did up our national theater, and then you probably would have, if we have space around it, we can build some tents for meetings. Then we also know that for the workshops. Then we also know that Tafawa Balewa Square may be there to host, but what's the logistics to move from there? After conference, you want to go to exhibition, you want to go to seminar. Why is the only? We're going to have a real discussion on that. And then how about the housing? How are they going to commute? Where are they going to be located? Are we going to have another First Stack town, or Games Village in Abuja? So there must be something that will, we will continue to remember that week. There has to be something in terms of a housing pack. Are we going to find somewhere in Lekki and then just build a complete new facility? We have 2 years to do that. But what worries me is that Nigeria now leave these things. We like firefighting and leaving things to the last minute.
Right.
And don't forget, we have big lesson to learn from Cote d'Ivoire. A few months ago, I went to Cote d'Ivoire to see where they actually prepared fantastic location. It's called Serra. That's the huge exhibition halls, and then they have more than 12. I've seen the actual conference centers, and a lot of them huge, exhibition massive. So when you see that facility, the question you are going to ask, why wasn't it adopted when they visited? When they visited, and then they haven't completed it by the time they visited. But I went there a few months ago, and it's fabulous.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that they still didn't approve that because the local committees saw that as a way of ripping off government, and I think the president wasn't happy about that. So we have to watch that. We have to watch that. The president has to make sure that we have a good mix of big boys, and especially that the bankers are interested in some position. Get the big boys in. Get the people who are actually going to benefit from this project, to take part in framing this project, rather than those who are going to be looking to rip off government.
I mean, you've mentioned quite a lot. You've talked about logistics. You talk about housing. I mean, you've talked about whether we need to build another, maybe trade village or more like what we had in
First Town, and then we have Games Village here in Abuja.
This is going to require
those.
Exactly. Going to require a world-class infrastructure.
Absolutely.
And so my question will now be, what kind of investment in terms of upgrade, what kind of, in terms of, yes, in terms of facility, in terms of, is it about loan? How do we raise this? So what kind of investment should we prioritize at this time to ensure that in 2027 we give them world-class experience for those participants who will be here?
Well, first is to decide the location of the facilities. That's the first. Where would the massive conference hall that took that number, where would that be? And then where would we still have enough space?
Right.
Assuming you are going to use the Arts Theatre in Igom for the major conference, where are the other facilities going to be? The conference halls. Assuming you may have about 10 to 20 halls that can take 300 people each.
And you also need to consider proximity as well.
You have to, they have proximity because they have to move from the main auditorium to those, to break up into the syndicates and all of that. And then car parking. Are we going to build a massive giant car park, multi-story car park that will take at least 5,000 cars? We're going to think about that. And then how about the accommodation? Where would that be? Most of it, and then the movement between security will be top notch, no doubt. But the logistics is where the nightmare would be. And then how far would the exhibition be from the center of that is consideration. But there are more. Technology.
That's right.
See, technology is not what we are having. Next time, our internet is becoming unreliable, but you're going to need huge data, and then facilities, to make sure that you have uninterrupted ICT facilities and all of that. And then don't forget, we are going to be also having our creative theaters, the creative arts.
That's right.
That will give us a big boost because that industry is already driving itself without much of government help. And then, of course, our automobile one there, we will have a bigger show. We're on our own automobile section. So hopefully we are going to build armored cars and then transport. So some vehicles, a lot more things could come up in the next 2 years to increase our capacity on the automotive side, because we have people there. And then of course we have to use what we have. I mean, I just wish there is something we could do around that lake, brand new. And then, but you also have to link about how about people who would attend. They may want to hop into Abuja or Port Harcourt to see something, have a quick meeting. And so we have to get some dedicated airlines that are going to, lay some extra flights to deal with those movements. Because if they are going to spend a week here, they might program to hop into Kanu to have one quick sightseeing or something, or visit an industry. Not just come and sign paper without seeing something. Right. So you have to accommodate all that. And then feeding.
Yes.
When you go to the one in Cote d'Ivoire, we have a village You know, have a food cultural village. So, you know, thousands of people will sit there and eat, different people cooking different things. We have to organize those. And it's not going to be easy.
I think you have opened up, you know, quite a lot of conversation here. I mean, there's going to be big, huge opportunities for those in the real estate. Those who are into construction, there's going to be a huge opportunity for them. There's also going to be big opportunity for those in the transport sector. There's also going to be, and you also talked about the food sector as well. So this is quite a value chain, and we should start preparing for it. But again, in terms of export earning, that's also another for Nigeria. So how can we leverage that? Because
let me remind you what Lagos State government is critical because they are blue line and yellow, red line and all of that. They could think about how that can come into the arena so that you can have massive quick evacuation. Because especially where you have to look at how you get to Tafawa Balewa Square, that's where the main exhibition will be taking place. How do you link that? But the rail passes somewhere around there. So there may be an extension that gets into Igomu or something like that, because we already have that infrastructure.
That's right.
Even if it means going underground or whatever, or overhead, to be able to have a node in the transport node in there. Then in terms of export, I think government should, part of the preparation of the local community to get grant facility.
Export and
for export, yes, for export. You see,
FX
we have a massive opportunity because our devaluation of our naira of over 200% means that our goods, whatever you make in Nigeria, is so cheap, and so attractive. Because if you look at things that our hotel bills that used to be 100,000 naira here, the same hotel, you go across to Cotonou, they're asking you for 3,000, equivalent to 300,000 naira. So, you know, it's a lot of money just because we devalued. So what will happen is that we will need help, special packages with manufacturers. Not at federal level, but at all state levels. All the states will help whatever they are manufacturing to be able to package it well. You know, meeting technical requirements, specifications, meeting sanitary and phytosanitary specifications, being NAFDAC, so that they can have something decent to exhibit. Because people are coming there, their eyes would have to consume before they sign. You know, so that's very important that we give help to all the various people, whether they are making whatever it is that they are producing, there will be a market for it somewhere in Africa. Don't forget that it is about focusing on Africa. You're not going to dump rubbish or raw material to African countries. You have to give them your best. And because our prices are down, really down, they will find it attractive to buy something from Nigeria and make money selling them. The currency differential, let me give you a sense of it. 10 years ago, 1 naira was buying 3 francs CFA. Today, 1 naira buys 0.7. So we did about 2 naira 70p to buy 1 franc CFA. So you can see it looks like almost 300% drop in the value. So anything they take from Nigeria is money. They make money. Anything you sell outside there, you make a lot of money.
That's right.
So it's an opportunity for us to push our products out there and then begin to build capacity.
Just before I let you go, Prof, I mean, speak to us about, of course, the benefit beyond just the benefit or immediate benefit of trade deals and businesses and partnership. Let's talk about the long-term transformation that this will bring, because I think we need to start seeing the long-term transformation beyond 2027. That's one. And the second, we talked about youth and women entrepreneurs, which represent a large share of Africa's business ecosystem. So how can Nigeria ensure that the IATF 2027 becomes, you know, a launch pad for empowering young people and women-led, enterprises to access different market. I mean, talked about the fact that our product needs to also meet quality standard as well. Speak to that before I let you go.
No, you know, everybody goes to China because whenever you go to China, you will always come back with something. You will always make money because China will sell you whatever you have, and they won't let you take your money out. What do you want? They will show it. So you will be able to buy the highest quality, the lowest quality, the mid quality, whatever it is. So that is what Nigeria will become. Because whatever it is that we have, provided it's properly presented, you will find market for it because they will take it away and make money. We have devalued our currency so much, everybody will make money from anything they take from Nigeria. But the second point, of course, there's business to business. Now, which means that we have business to government, we have business to business, but we have in the area of what oil and gas, we don't have any issue there. We have the likes of Dangote there, we have people there that can actually deliver. But we need to prepare the women who are going to dominate the commodity trade. That's why they need help. Then, of course, you also have the industry, the Canex, which is the cultural industry, dominated by young people. So what can we offer them? How do we make sure that Nigeria gets the best, looking in that area? Because we're already leading Africa in the creative and cultural industry. Then, of course, in the technology, we're going to see more Nigerian, how many? We have almost 6 unicorns. By the time we finish, there may be even 8 or 10 unicorns. Because we are now going out making deals. Money Point is going out to other countries making deals. Dangote is doing 2.5 billion in Tanzania. So there's going to be more of this coming in. So it's a momentous opportunity for Nigeria to showcase what we can do and have our solid minerals. 44 solid minerals. Let's show, so that those who will refine them will be there to come and show them where the 6 lithium reserve areas. Let them see what the potential. And I don't think we have limitless potential, but we have to dress up to be able to exhibit those. And then, and it's not going to be signing papers, because you can hear 44. Nigeria got 11 billion in the 2023 version. Let's hope that we will get at least twice or even 3 times that figure when it hits our legal year. So we might have a much bigger thing to show for it.
That's right.
And then build up afterwards. Not just pieces of papers. And the capacity to follow up is very, very important.
All right. I think we need to leave it there. I mean, that last statement, did it for me. Dress up, and then, of course, let's get to work. Thank you so much, Development Economics Professor Ken Ife, for coming on Rise Exchange.
Thank you.